Now, let us say you have a table of height h from the ground. Okay, from the ground it's having height h. Let us say if you are lifting a body, if you are lifting a block of mass m through h, what work you have to do? All the time you are causing one displacement against the gravitational pull by earth. Earth is always trying to pull it down with a force m multiplied by g, mg force. It's coming down its own weight. So against that, when you take it and keep it on the table, you have done work of mg h work you have done, and that much is stored in this as a potential energy, right? And what is the proof of that? If you release it from that height, you need not do any work. It will come down to earth automatically. That means how much energy was stored in that, that much energy is getting converted into work again. So what we can say is work stored, see, some work you did, that much work is stored is called the potential energy, and when the energy is spent, when you released it, energy is being spent now. That mgh energy which was stored here is spent now, and that is doing the work. So when energy is spent, that is called work, and when work is stored is called energy. Did you understand the meaning of this statement? Have you noted it down? I erase it just to make some space. Now we'll see the analogy between the gravitational terms like gravitational potential energy per unit mass, and gravitational potential difference. Then we'll see electrical potential energy at certain point, electrical potential energy per unit charge, and electrical potential difference between 2 points we are going to see. Let us say, consider this, some height is there. Let us say this height is 1 meter. If you are thinking the table, let's say the table is having 1 meter height, or what some height is there of 1 meter, and you are lifting a block of mass of 5 kg through this height. And when from A to C, when you move, how much work you have to do? W is equal to mgh. That's equal to mass is 5 kg you have taken, g assumed to be 10 meter per second square, acceleration due to gravity, and h is 1 meter, that is 50 joule of work has been done. And how much work is done is called the potential energy. So let us say this is potential energy. Since it's a gravitational potential energy, I am writing GPE, gravitational potential energy, is equal to this much, 50 joule. Now gravitational potential energy at what? At C, at certain level. So gravitational potential energy at C is 50 joule. Okay. Now, what is the gravitational potential energy per unit mass at C? So what is the gravitational potential energy per unit mass? That is simply called gravitational potential. Gravitational potential is nothing but gravitational potential energy per unit mass. So I am writing gravitational potential is equal to what is the gravitational potential energy? 50 divided by what is the mass? 5 kg. So this is 10 joule work has been done. Gravitational potential energy was 50 joule per 5 kg. So 10 joule per kg. So when we express it in joule per kg, that is gravitational potential, GP I have written. And whenever we are saying GP, gravitational potential, at some point we have to see, right? So at some point we say. Now gravitational potential difference between C and A, you can see gravitational potential difference between C and A. Gravitational potential at C is, here I am writing, at C is this much. Now same gravitational potential at A is how much, right? This is equal to, here its energy was 0 and g multiplied by height was 0, so 0. So 0 divided by 5 is 0 joule per kg. Now at C gravitational potential is 10 joule per kg, at A gravitational potential is 0 joule per kg. So potential difference between C and A is gravitational potential difference. Let me write it as GPD, gravitational potential difference between C and A is equal to 10 minus 0 is equal to 10 joule per kg. This is very clear because we are already familiar with it. Now let's bring the same idea as one analogy to electrical terms. Electrical potential energy at C. Now see, here I am writing at C. We will change some names. Let us say this point is P, this point is Q, let us say. Or somewhere Q we took, A, B, C we took, let us say like that, P, Q, R we are taking. Okay. So at C I wrote there. Here let me write only potential energy. So electrical potential energy at R we are taking. Now what is the formula for that? You might have remembered W is equal to V multiplied by Q, potential difference multiplied by the charge. Let us say you are taking a charge of 5 coulomb from here to there, and this is 10 volt. If the cell connected is a 10 volt, you can think that this side is a plus 10 volt and this side is a 0 volt. Now from here to continue, same conductor is there. So here it is 0 volt and here it is a 10 volt. Now see, 5 coulomb if you are raising, you have to do some work. Whenever you are doing some work, you are making a displacement against some force. What is the force here? See, whenever this is a plus 10 volt from higher potential to lower potential, there is an electric field is there. Electric field means what? Electric field is nothing but a force experienced by unit positive charge. Now you think that this is plus 5 coulomb charge. Plus 5 coulomb, then plus will be repelled by each other. So against that, towards a higher potential, if you take one positive charge, it is pushing it away, but still you are taking it against that force. That force is in this direction, it's pushing you away, and against that you are moving. So that's why you are doing some work. And to calculate that, W is equal to V multiplied by Q. That means what charge you are moving multiplied by under what potential difference you are moving. Here, see, against something you are moving the charge. So if we are putting that W is equal to VQ here if you are connecting one cell of a 10 volt multiplied by 5, so this will be how much? 50 joule. Why? The work done unit is joule, right? Electrical potential energy, I am writing it. Okay, so that's nothing but the work 50 joule. Now if we are calculating potential energy per unit mass was the gravitational potential energy. Now potential energy per unit charge will be electrical potential energy. So I am writing electrical. By the way, if I am writing electrical column, I have made already, electrical potential energy. So electrical potential only. Potential is potential energy per unit charge will be equal to how much? 50 joule divided by how much coulomb we are moving? 5 coulomb we are moving. So this is 10 joule per coulomb, right? So electrical potential where? At R. At R. And similarly, here what was the work done? VQ, 0 multiplied by Q was 0. That's why electrical potential at P is equal to 0 divided by 0 joule divided by 5 coulomb is equal to 0 joule per coulomb. Fine. Now potential difference between C and A. Here what we'll do? Okay, here I am writing between C and A. Now here in case of electrical potential difference, we'll write electrical potential difference between R and P is equal to 10 volt electrical potential difference between R and P, 10 joule per coulomb minus 0 joule per coulomb is equal to 10 joule per coulomb. Got 1 joule per coulomb only is called 1 volt. So this is 10 volt only, this is equal to 0 volt only. 1 joule per coulomb only is called 1 volt. So this is also 10 volt, you can say. Now bringing in analogy between the difference in gravitational head to the potential difference in electrical thing, we are going to solve all these things in one go. Very easily we can solve, we can find the answer to all these questions what we have discussed. See, we will bring the analogy like if water, let us say water is flowing in a tube. See, something is falling in under gravity, under acceleration due to gravity, we can consider that as something is flowing. What is electric current? That also is a charge is flowing in a conductor, right? Now, as per the definitions are concerned, how much, let us compare this flowing of a charge to a flowing of water in a tube. let us consider. This analogy brings a lot of clarity. Now, how much mass is flowing per 1 second, or the rate of flow of water we will call water current. Similarly, the rate of flow of charge, how much charge is passing a particular cross section per unit time, we will call that electric current. Comparing these two, bringing analogy between these two, let us see how we can solve all these questions in one go.